Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Gordon Elliott, the Chair of the Board of Governors, and I thank you for attending today's event. We are here today to announce the 11th president in the long and rich history of Missouri State University. Immediately following this announcement, there will be a reception in the ballroom on the 3rd floor. Now, it's up to you if you wish to attend, but given today is Boss's Day, you really might want to consider it. I want to begin by paying tribute to the Presidential Search Committee. From day one, I described this committee as a blue ribbon committee, and that's exactly what it was. The committee was led by Mr. Joe Turner, who was assisted by Mr. Jim Anderson. They did an excellent job. And the faculty, staff, students, alumni, donors, and community members on the committee added much to the discussion. The committee reviewed a group of candidates who had a set of strong and diverse backgrounds. In the end, the committee presented to the board 2 outstanding candidates to bring to our campus. They were the 2 candidates who continued to rise to the top during all the committee's evaluations. I would like at this time to ask any member of the search committee that are here today, please stand so we can acknowledge you. I would also like to compliment all of you and the other members of the campus committee who participated in the search process. You attended the interview sessions, you asked good questions, you submitted your feedback, which the board reviewed and considered. On behalf of the board, I want to express our gratitude for your serious consideration. Finally, I want to thank my fellow board members for their time and good work during the search. Hiring the president is the most important responsibility a board has. Your board members knew that and they acted and responded accordingly. My board colleagues took extra time from their work and their lives to ensure that the search was done well and that we selected the very best leader for this university. Several of the board members are on stage today. Others couldn't make it because of work obligations. I would ask that you please acknowledge the members of the Missouri State Board of Governors for the work on this search. As I indicated, we had 2 outstanding finalists who visited the campus. I truly believe that either of the 2 had the ability to be president of this university. But in the end, the Board of Governors agreed with you. 16 months ago, the board needed someone to step into a very difficult situation on this campus. We needed someone to restore confidence, to restore relationships, and to restore the high standards we expect out of our leaders. In essence, this was a 16-month job interview, and the results speak for themselves. Missouri State University is back on track, setting records and making progress in many areas. Morale is high and confidence has returned. The Board of Governors agrees with you, and we want to keep on this path. So here today with his wife Gail, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the 11th president of Missouri State University, Mr. Clif Smart.
Good. Thank you for being here this morning on this special day for Gail and me. I want to start by recognizing some people and thanking them personally before we get into kind of the meat of our comments this morning. And first, I would start with our board. Thank you for showing the confidence in me to allow me to continue in this position. For those of you all who do not know our board, I have worked with many of them for 5 years, all of them for the last year plus, and I can tell you that they are all committed to our university, they're committed to you, they're committed to our community, and they're committed to our state. We could not have a better group of people to be the governing board of our university, and I thank you for that. Secondly, I would like to add my thanks to our search committee for giving me an opportunity to compete for this position. And what a great committee that was, but in particular, I also would like to recognize Joe Turner and Jim Anderson, two of the most influential, committed, engaged leaders in our city and in our area. The fact that they were willing to serve in this demanding capacity says a lot about them, but it also talks about what they think of this university. And thank you very much for your service and for being here this morning. I'd also like to thank our administrative team. You know, we started 16 months ago with this theme. We can accomplish a lot if we don't care who gets the credit. And I think for the most part, we've lived up to that. But there are two people, you know, despite that not giving recognition thing, there are two people that I want to recognize this morning. One of them is my Chief of Staff, Paul Kincaid, who has an incredible knowledge and love for this university that is frankly unparalleled. He does an incredible job of keeping me on task and on focus and at the right place, and to know the history of exactly what we've done and tried, what's been successful and what's not. I don't think I could have done this job without him. The other person is our provost. Frank has been an incredible part of our team to run the academic side, and I know I couldn't be standing here but for his commitment to you all and to this university. I'd like to thank all of our faculty and staff and students who have been supportive of the work that we have begun. You know, a part of being a leader is recognizing that a lot of the good work has gone on before you were here, and to be able to build on the success of others and to give those folks credit as well. And two of those people are here. Two of those people I call my dearest friends. One of them is able to be here today, Arthur Mallory, one of our previous presidents. 16 months ago, gave me this advice. I referenced it in the talks when I took this position. Let me remind you what he advised me on the Sunday afternoon before I took this position. Work hard to build trust by acting in the best interest of the faculty and staff and students. Make sure everything you say is true. Treat everyone with respect. I've tried to do that. Thank you, Arthur. I'm also privileged to call Mike Nitzel one of my dearest friends. Mike could not be here today, as you might imagine, 3 weeks before an election. Everybody is out on the campaign trail, I think, except for him. He's doing all the work in Jeff City today. But I had an opportunity to talk to Mike last night, and I wanted to publicly thank him for the opportunity he gave me to work here 5 years ago, for then giving me responsibilities beyond my original job title, for all the encouragement during that period of time, for mentoring me in the last 16 months. I will never forget that. And then I want to acknowledge Tom Strong, who's sitting down here on the front row as well. Tom was my original mentor when Gail and I moved to Springfield 20 plus years ago. He's the person that first introduced me to this great university. and his commitment to this university is unparalleled as well. Finally then, that leaves me to acknowledge my wife, Gail, for embracing this lifestyle change that this job involves and for committing to do it with me as best we can. We hope to be doing it for a long time. The other option, if the committee had gone the other way, was that I had told her I was going to retire and play golf and be involved in volunteer work, and that scared the living life out of her, I think. So she's really happy that I'm getting to do this talk. My parents aren't here today, but I can report to you they are very pleased. As you all know by now, they're both lifelong educators. I've always suspected there was a little unspoken disappointment that both of their children became lawyers. And then on top of that, we both married lawyers. And so they view today as that Gail and I have returned from the dark side to the light with this announcement. In all seriousness, I would say this is an exciting time for our university because there is enormous potential for us to grow into one of the best comprehensive universities anywhere in the Midwest or the Mid-South. We have great faculty. We have great staff. We have students that are doing exciting work. We have solid programs, many of which are positioned to expand in all of our colleges. You know, we do face challenges. We have faced challenges with state appropriation cuts, with the development of these massive open online courses that we're all struggling to figure out how do we fit into that if we do, and how do we respond to that, with increased competition from other universities, including the for-profit section. We have questions that we deal with is how will we maintain our enrollment growth? How will we continue to make progress in diversity? What's the best way that we market our university? How do we grow regionally and beyond? Can we continue to fundraise the way we have, and on and on? But these are challenges we can overcome together if we really don't care who gets the credit. So my commitment to you is to work to improve the quality of our programs, many of which are already outstanding, to aggressively advocate for us in Jefferson City and Washington, D.C., to engage our community and state and the higher education community to create partnerships, economic development, and more and better opportunities for our students, to expand our reputation and reach throughout our state and our region, to improve our facilities and our capacity for technology, to grow our alumni outreach efforts, to better define our public affairs mission, to better serve our non-traditional students, to improve both student success and access, and to tell our story better. I can't promise that we can do all that in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, but I do promise that we will work with you on these and other matters in the same open, inclusive, transparent way that has been our method of operation these last 16 months. Nothing there will change. The challenge for all of us, including me, I think, though, is that we think bigger and bolder. We're not SMS anymore. We're Missouri State University, and together we can make this university all that we want it to be and all that that name implies. Now, before we all leave to go to the party, 2 other comments that I wanted to make. One has to do with the contract that we entered into with the board last night. I was negotiating to reduce the size of my contract, and I was partially successful. The board felt they needed the salary at a certain minimum range, and they also required that I accept a housing allowance, whether I needed one or not. On that, we agreed on a figure of $40,000, which was the same as Dr. Nitzel's and $5,000 less than Dr. Kofer. But to show our commitment to the university, Gail and I have committed to give that $40,000 allowance back to the university every year. This morning we created This morning, we created the Gail and Clif Smart Professorship in Agriculture, and we have committed to fund that at the amount of $30,000 per year for 10 years. And we've also written a check for $10,000 to be a part of the 50 for the 50th fund and support and recognize Tent Theater at its 50th anniversary. What we do with that $10,000 a year will vary depending upon needs, but you might be asking, why agriculture? Smart's not an agriculture guy, he's a political science guy. Here's our rationale that I will share to you. The first is that the Dar School of Agriculture, some of the most incredible research is going on there anywhere on campus. We literally are one of the top 3 universities in grapevine research anywhere, not only in the country, but in the world. And I thought it was appropriate to recognize that. Second, that department, despite its stature, has no professorships or chairs. And I wanted to convey to you all our personal commitment of raising private money for faculty salaries for chairs and endowments, and I thought that was a good place to start. Third, that school has been committed to enrollment growth and has had incredible growth just in the last 2 years, and they need additional resources. And finally, there is a family connection there. I'm always a little emotional when I talk about family, and so I apologize for that, but my grandfather, the original Clifton Smart, farmed for more than 60 years in Mississippi County in Arkansas. He's one of the people that I try to model my life after, and so this is done partially in his honor, and I think he's looking down on us and appreciates that today. And finally, like Gordon, I want to acknowledge Randy Dunn, who was an outstanding candidate. I appreciate the ideas he shared as well. I agree with his sentiment that we are poised to do great things if we are willing to accept that challenge. It frankly was reassuring to me to hear him say the things that I have been thinking and talking about for some time. I am confident he will continue to do great things in Murray State, and we are better because he was here last week. Enough about that. There's a reception on the 3rd floor in the ballroom. I hope you all will join all of us there. Gordon and I will remain here for a few minutes to answer questions from the media. And so thank you for being here today, and go Bears.